Welcome in, everybody. NoDQ Galaxy to another edition of the NoDQ Review. This is number 342. Wow, time's flying. All right, we are joined by this week's elite panel. 6 of us. We've got a full screen for everybody. Our ORM is here, Virtue. We've got JJ, we've got the Cleaver, and we've got the Simple Man. And as always, our fearless leader, Aaron, is joining us. How you doing today, Aaron?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to tonight's stream. We just came off the Night of Champions premium live event, and we got a very busy weekend coming up with Saturday night's main event. We got Evolution. We got All In. A lot to talk about.
Looking forward to it. Virtue, how are you doing today?
Good. Do I sound like a robot this week?
No, full human. Damn. You've assimilated perfectly.
Damn. No, I'm doing good. I'm ready to sit back and relax and just give my opinion. Make you run the show.
Somebody got a haircut.
Yeah, I keep it short these days.
Got his ears lowered, as they say in the olden days.
The beard,
Noah, how are you doing today?
Too. Look at that.
And somebody that gets a shave and a haircut every other month. Respect, Virtue. Hello, everybody. Hello, NoDQ fam. Once again, happy Canada Day to those that celebrate, by the way. And welcome to the second half of 2025. Doing well, Gino. Good to see you as always. Happy to be back here on the show. As always, I like to say when I moderate the predicting or the shenanigans for the gentleman on the far right, I'm ready to get right into it. So let's go ahead and see what this week brings.
Awesome. Happy to have you back. And Cleaver is joining us again. Colin, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I had an hour massage today for Father's Day. I'm good. I'm here for it. I'm chilling. I got a cocktail. I'm ready to hang out with my friends and have some fun. So let's get to it.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for joining us after the massage. I'd probably be asleep, so I'm impressed that you're able to make it here and didn't call out. JJ, how you doing today?
I am doing well, Gino. Thank you for having me here. It's always great to be with the Galaxy here in the panel. And special shout out to Noah. It's nice to talk wrestling with him on a day that's not a Saturday night. He actually looks like he's awake, alert, and wants to be here for a change.
Love that. Yeah, we had plenty of people wanting to be on this week's edition, but they had to get the standby mode, the snooze, because we were full up. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say for these topics. So we've got a good show planned for all of you watching either live or on demand. Don't forget to share your thoughts, super chat if you're watching live, and we will read it live on the air and address it. All right, so let's get right into it. As Aaron mentioned, we are coming off Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, a very hot, very loud crowd. The show I thought was very entertaining, and Aaron did give a lot of his thoughts afterwards. Don't forget to check out that video when we're done here, of course. But we're going to go around and get all the other panelists quick little thoughts on their Night of Champions viewing experience. I'm going to throw it right over to our ORM, the original review moderator, Virtue. Virtue, take it away.
Okay, so can you hear me okay? I'm going to keep asking that just to make sure we're good. So another Saudi Arabia show, and to be honest with you, the most interesting thing for me was the CM Punk John Cena match. Now, I was hoping they would do something beyond just having Seth Rollins trying to cash in and make that ending, which, it played off pretty well. Charles Robinson, great bump that he took. I wonder how you plan that out, or if you just, especially when you're getting up there. And I know he, as a referee, usually does a lot of cleaning of the ring and taking down the ring and stuff too. So I wonder if he took that time off after the show after that bump. But, I was telling Aaron and everybody else last week, I'd like to see something like R-Truth join Cena, and that obviously didn't happen. But Cena retained because Seth Rollins, the cash in, and it didn't quite. He came out and basically did not want CM Punk to win, and that was the mission accomplished. And Cena snuck one in. And I don't know. I mean, these Saudi shows, do you feel like the crowds are better? I think so. The last, year or two of Saudi shows than when they first started doing them, because that really makes a difference with a match like this. Like, don't you guys think?
Yes. It was a very hot crowd. It was just electric in that arena for everything. For stuff that they could have been going to the bathroom with and not being cared about at all. They were loud. They were hot. Again, WWE likes to give the Saudis and those shows, like, not dream matches necessarily, but the highly anticipated matchups, regardless of whether they have a big build or not. So
and
thank
obviously,
you
look at Karrion Kross. And of course, it's so hilarious that when wrestlers get themselves over via just whatever, online, just creating a buzz, like doing interviews. But Karrion Kross is over, right? And it's like they're teasing like they're going to do something big with him. But he jobs to Sami Zayn. Okay, and then like R-Truth comes back because the crowd wanted it, Ron Killings. And he's, like Aaron said, just probably back in the mid-card. They just don't if they don't want you up at the top, you are not going to be at the top. And it blows my mind. Like, how did CM Punk get there back in the day? Like, he was kind of like some of these guys, and they could have ignored him. And, I know he won the Money in the Banks before he got super over in 2011, but it's just crazy how sometimes they refuse to push to the top. I mean, look at LA Knight, right?
Yeah.
They just, and that was a problem with me. Like, I thought Karrion Kross, even if he cheated, should have won that match against Sami Zayn. But, there looks like they're going to continue that, and we'll see what happens out of it. But that's what stuck out to me on the show, because that's what I was most interested. The polarizing people, right? CM Punk, Karrion Kross, like that's what draws me. That's what makes me want to watch these shows. But go to someone else, because to be honest with you, I didn't really care about the rest of the show.
All right. Well, thank
Nothing
you for
against
always
nothing against the females or anything else. Just
sure.
I mean,
No problem. And that's what we come to you for, your honest takes. So we appreciate you being honest, and you're not just telling us what we want to hear.
At least Rhea Ripley won
love
over.
you.
Right there. I'll give that a shout out.
Sounds good. All right, so we're going to throw it over to Aaron because I know we got a super chat that he wants to answer. So let Aaron take it away. I know you gave us your thoughts on Night of Champions, but go ahead.
Well, I do have a little rant I want to go on, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. First of all, Caleb Jacobs sent in a $2 super chat, says, I really loved the CM Punk and John Cena feud this year. I agree with you 100%, Caleb, and that is going to be a lead-in to my rant. I really enjoyed them swapping each other's routine, where CM Punk did the Dr. Thugonomics freestyle rap promo. I thought that was very entertaining. People were calling him out for that, saying it's PG Punk, he's watered down, and then all these comments about him being a sellout and he took the blood money, he's a hypocrite. And I'm thinking to myself, if he's a hypocrite, he's no worse than anybody else that left WWE and came back. All those guys that said WWE was an evil corporation and they were never going to work there again. Guys like Bruno Sammartino, guys like Bret Hart. There are so many wrestlers over the years that had a falling out with WWE, like CM Punk, and they said they were never going to come back, and they all did. Pretty much every single one came back. CM Punk came back. He's making money. He said it in his promo. He's not there to make friends. He's there to make money, and that's what he's doing. People are mad about the whole Saudi Arabia deal. He apologized. People can mature. They can change their opinions. And yes, money may help. I'm sure a big briefcase of money is not going to hurt, but people getting so upset about him and making a big deal out of it, like, don't watch WWE. WWE is in bed with Saudi Arabia. WWE as a corporation has made questionable decisions, but to all these people that are going on social media and mocking CM Punk for going to Saudi Arabia, I mean, get over it. Move on. And if you don't like it, if you have that much of a moral objection to it, then stop watching. If you cover WWE or you watch it as a fan, then that's on you. WWE is going to do what they're doing as a business. They're trying to make money. They're trying to build relationships with companies and countries around the world. And it's a business at the end of the day. And the wrestlers are trying to make a living and trying to have a secure future for them and their families. So get over it. That's my opinion on everybody that's out there criticizing CM Punk for being a so-called sellout. There you go. That's all I got to say about that. I enjoyed Night of Champions. I thought it was a very good show.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Right. And I think that's part of the story too. Cena Punk said, you name the place, and Cena said Saudi Arabia. Like, that's part of the story, was Cena getting Punk to have his match in Saudi Arabia. I really hope that this isn't the end of their feud, because we could have gotten so much more, and it felt a little rushed. Hopefully there's something down the line. I don't think there's going to be, but we'll see. Now I'm going to throw it over to the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams himself. JJ, what are your thoughts on Night of Champions? I know you stream Saturday nights, but go ahead and share with the NoDQ Galaxy your thoughts. And if you want to answer that question, you can.
Honestly, I thought it was a good show. I had a lot of people that I'm close to kind of crashing out, calling it a garbage pay-per-view, saying it was 1 star out of 5, and that was being generous. And I'm like, well, what did you want from this show? The Saudi shows have never really been designed to further storylines. If anything, I feel like this Saudi show furthered more storylines than past Saudi shows. You had both Money in the Bank winners come out and tease cash-ins. You had returns. You had debuts. We won't get to the name changes because Tala Tonga, I'm just not even going to go there. But yes, Noah, we know. But I thought it was an overall good show. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was everything I expect from WWE when they put on a premium live event. Are there times when WWE misses their shot? Yeah, but not everybody goes 100% from the free throw line. Every now and again, someone misses their shot. But I feel that overall, this was a good, enjoyable, entertaining show. And I'm looking forward to where we go from here, especially with Saturday night's main event coming up and the Evolution 2 shows coming up.
Thank you very much, JJ. I feel like a lot of the people that are criticizing the WWE PLEs in general are comparing it to having to pay $50+ for an AEW pay-per-view, and we don't have to do that now.
Oh.
So we're not getting stacked cards, super cards, all this stuff. We're getting a digestible amount of time for fans to sit there live in attendance and not destroy their voices. You really want the main event to be quiet because people have exhausted all of their energy? Anyway, Aaron, did you have something you want to add?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I do. In response to City by the Bay hates that the Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia. I actually am looking forward to that because, number one, the crowd is going to be hot, and it's the Royal Rumble, so I feel like they are going to be a really passionate crowd. It's earlier in the day, which I appreciate. The only thing about the Royal Rumble is with the women and the attire and all that. I hope they can come up with something creatively so the women look different enough. I felt like one negative about Night of Champions, especially in that Rhea Ripley match, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel, they're all wearing the dark outfits and they all look the same. If we're going to have 10 women in the ring at the same time, all in these black Catwoman suits, that's going to take away from the whole experience a little bit. So I'm hopeful they can come up with some unique attires, or maybe WWE can somehow get the Saudi government to ease up a little bit and maybe let them wear their normal attire. Virtue, you don't think so?
They are so set in their third world ways when it comes to that kind of stuff. Hey, at least when WWE was over there this past weekend, a week prior, it seemed the ceasefire war that was happening north of that area seemed to have cooled down. So they were, hopefully safer when they were over there. But it's that part of the world, crazy stuff. And if they're going to do business over there, Aaron, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be tension sometimes, and they want to get out of there. I heard they wanted to get on their plane and get home. But the money talks. That's why they go.
Yeah. And then just to piggyback on something that Aaron had mentioned during his diatribe real quickly, he brought up the whole CM Punk going over there. Even if Punk had avoided it this time, even if, you don't think he's going to go over there for the Rumble when there's a main event opportunity at WrestleMania on the line? We need to just be realistic here. Mm-hmm. And then you gave me permission to address this. David Estevez has asked about Walter. Walter is good. He's doing well. Him and his family are getting to ready to relocate middle of this month. So he's just been focusing all his time and his energies into that. I'm sure once they relocate, they're moving to Northern California. I forget the exact city, but I'm sure once they get relocated and everything, then he'll be back here on the NoDQ review and streams.
Weed,
Yep,
California.
the one and only Mr. Reliable. We do miss him a lot. Absolutely. So one more thing before we throw it over to the two most patient guys in the lobby right now. The hot crowd for Royal Rumble in Saudi is going to be amazing. And especially since Triple H basically said, if you want a Royal Rumble, you better be 10 times as hot as for the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, excuse me. You better be 10 times as hot for the Royal Rumble as you were tonight. And I'm hoping maybe they can do like Jade was dressed up as Storm from Marvel. Maybe they all do like find a gimmick of a character that they could dress like. But, you know, we'll see what happens. If WWE can truly change their 1,000 centuries-year-old way that they treat women, then that would be fantastic.
Last thing, Gino, just keep in mind, women didn't even get to wrestle on the first Saudi Arabia show. So they've made progress. You never know, especially as the relationship grows. Anything's possible. And, you know, any progress is progress. So we'll see what happens. And we do have a super chat here. Psycho Jet Black has arrived. And by the way, weed is also a real town in California. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, Colin, what are your thoughts on medium rare versus well done beef? Ooh, this should be a spicy debate here.
Perfect question.
Only one real answer, so let's hear it.
Well, it depends on what you're doing well done. If you're doing a roast or something like that, you want it well done. You want it to fall apart, be tender, you know, like a barbacoa. Medium rare is the way to go on anything for me, honestly. Any type of steak, cook that thing medium rare and you're set. There's a time and a place for everything, but again, it depends on what you're doing. Like a nice roast beef, you want that thing nice medium rare, medium. Hit it in some jus, you're set. But, you know, like a pot roast, the thing's gonna be well done. But as long as you cook it low enough and everything breaks down enough at a low rate, it's gonna be tender. So
yeah, Virtue, you don't like medium rare, do you?
No, I usually just say no pink. I don't like it burnt, but my brain can't eat meat if it's even slightly pink. And you know what? I've had prime rib that's all cooked, probably way more than a lot of people eat it as, and it's perfectly fine to me. I can chew it, tastes good, so that's just how I eat it.
Yeah, I want it like medium. I want it cooked enough, but I still want it to be juicy. So if it's in that nice happy spot, I'm good.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for sharing that. And thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate that. So I'm going to throw it over now to Noah. Noah, what are your thoughts on Night of Champions and maybe any of the other stuff we kind of touched upon here?
It's amazing how much wrestling and cooking kind of go together. Don't you think about that? And maybe we'll get 30 Power Rangers during the greatest Royal Rumble to come to Saudi Arabia. Who knows? That being said, Night of Champions, I thought it was all right. I mean, first off, who knew that Sikoa could win a singles championship, right? Big moment for him. Hikuleo, now part of the Bloodline. We'll see what him and Jeff Cobb can do alongside Sikoa now that he's the new United States champion. Give Sikoa a new lease on life, and maybe Jacob Fatu can elevate his way towards the World Championship picture. Thinking about Ruthless Aggression, I look at the long-term timeline because I don't see John Cena losing that title before December. Bron Breakker or Jacob Fatu to be the next torchbearer for the next generation of WWE? Yes, please. So maybe they're the ones that can bring Ruthless Aggression. But regardless, I thought Night of Champions versus other Saudi Arabia shows, I thought it was very good. I think it definitely pushed a lot of narratives ahead for Evolution and SummerSlam regarding the championship matches. You can say what you want about everybody coming in all at once during the main event. It is what it is. Probably get a tag team match play as LA Knight, CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins and his Vision. Maybe Penta or Sami Zayn joins them. I was disappointed we didn't get nothing about Roman Reigns or Rom Killings because I do think Roman and Cena, it'd be interesting to run that back one more time, especially since the last time they faced each other was at a SummerSlam, but it is what it is. And I was holding out for Ron Killings going alongside Cena on a two-man power trip, but maybe they still will do that. Time will tell. They need to get more originality in the women's attire to distinguish them. I think they could have been more creative behind that, but I thought Raquel and Rhea's match was very good based on their history from NXT. I knew the two would work very well together. So, again, I'm glad to see the progression for women's presentation in wrestling in this third world country with its long-term beliefs finally being set a little bit aside. I'm glad to see that because I do believe that equality should matter more than just equity. Equality and equity are two different things. But overall, Night of Champions was a pretty good PLE for what you got out of it. And you know me, I'm a connoisseur of all things wrestling. I look at domestic, international, I look at local, but you can't argue when it comes to something beyond North America. It's a hotter crowd because they're less exposed to this. We are too content, too complacent with this art form called professional wrestling. We're surrounded by 24/7, 365, no matter where you go. While WWE reaches out to Joe Schmo from Kokomo on the other side of the world, it's big for them because it's a first time or it's a very rare opportunity. So anytime you get something from wrestling internationally, you know it's going to be given a bigger perspective by the live viewing audience because they appreciate it because they don't get that every day like we do. So overall, Night of Champions, I think it did what it needed to, and it was one of the better Saudi Arabia shows that I've seen in quite a while. So let's see what they do with Evolution and SummerSlam, cause and effect, with Saturday Night's main event in between.
Thank you very much, Noah. And we're going to throw it over now to Colin and his cat cameo. I know you talked about your steak. How do you take your Night of Champions PLE after the fact?
I enjoyed it. I like that. I want to touch on something JJ said. How they don't really continue storylines or set up storylines. I think they did a really good job with the new Bloodline 3.0. Is that what we're on now?
Yes.
With the debut of, I'm going to say it, Tala Tonga, and the return of everyone's favorite Tonga Loa. I thought they did a good job with that. Obviously, going into SummerSlam, we know we're going to get Jacob and Solo again, or some type of whatever they're going to call Jacob's faction. Like I don't know, can they call it the Wolf Pack? Because he's the werewolf. But whoever he gets back, or is going to be Jimmy and Jay reconnecting with him because we got Big Jim already trying to help him out. But I liked that. Rollins and the boys coming down, it was fun. It made for a couple really interesting things. Like I really, really love. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it. I really loved the interaction with Cena and Punk after, look, these guys are supposed to be fighting up for the belt. Next thing you know, they're fighting everybody else around them. And then they did the handshake hug thing before Cena tried to kick him in the wiener. And I really liked it. Charles Robinson's probably still feeling that bump because that was a great bump. Charles has taken a better bump than Karrion Kross has. I'll tell you that because the dude doesn't take bumps very well. But I'm surprised that Karrion Kross lost. I know Sammy's a beloved man. The crowd's always super hot for him when they're over there. But I really, really thought that with everything going on with Kross, that they would have given him that dub. But as of last night, storylines continued, so we'll see where we're at. Maybe we'll get that big win at SummerSlam. I was kind of hoping Roman was going to come back in some fashion, but maybe we're going to get back-to-back SummerSlam returns from him, or what it looks like. Cody winning King of the Ring. Wish it would have been Orton, or I wish Orton would have, done a little different on the heel part. I know we're going to talk more about this later, so I'm going to hold off on that. From what I was else just going to go with that. Jade Cargill winning the Queen of the Ring. Again, as someone who's been there, it's an ex-AEW person, so it's just a little middle finger over to that side. Like, hey, we made somebody else bigger and better than you could have. Or Asuka, who's been gone for damn near 2 years. And, oh, here you go. You're back, so here you go. Here's this crowd. So I think it works. Rhea and Raquel was great, too. I thought it was a really good match. Those two women always really have really good matches together. Overall, I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. We'll see what they have in store for us at the Rumble. But, yeah, like Aaron said, hopefully they can figure out some way to tell everyone apart a little different. Because, again, when you got everyone in black jumpsuits or bodysuits and, oh, she's got purple on hers. Oh, okay, she's got red on hers. Like, it's just a little
like violet, lavender. You go to the Sherman-Williams paint scale and pick a certain number. I'm sure they can come up with enough options.
But no, I thought it was good. How many more years of this do we have? Anyone remember?
2028. It was a 10-year deal, I believe.
Okay, well, we're getting close.
And they're probably going
It'll
to
probably
keep
renew it.
going.
Yeah.
I can see them renewing it. Too much money in there.
Let's be honest. Did anyone not think Cody wasn't going to win? Like, I think everybody knew he was going to win at this point, right?
Yeah,
Like-
it's literally the second biggest show of the year. I know we'll talk about it later, but come on. WrestleMania, where you launched it, SummerSlam, where you cap it. And
See,
again,
or I would
tonight-
have rather had someone else win Money in the Bank and had like Seth Rollins and Cody be in the finals of the King of the Ring, because then it would have been like, whoa, like we really would have been torn probably who was going to win.
Probably.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that. Just one last thing on the Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley appeared on the post-show thing, which was in the arena, and she had a T-shirt on. So her forearms were exposed. I don't know what the rules are if it's not live TV. I don't know what the rules are, but I was like a little like, I hope she doesn't get in trouble. I hope nothing bad happens, whatever with that. But it's not a good feeling to feel when you already have other things to be concerned about with wrestling and stuff. So hopefully they figure something out, because they can't, like you said, they can't have 3 people in black jumpsuits involved in a match with black hair. Like, I had no idea who was who at a certain point. Yes, JJ.
I just wanted to piggyback off something Colin mentioned with Jade winning Queen of the Ring. I brought this up on Shenanigans, Aaron. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but both your King and Queen of the Ring were the inaugural TNT and TBS champions for AEW.
There you go. I did post the picture of them in AEW when I was reporting on the betting odd favorites for the show. I used the AEW picture of them. So yeah, I remember them both winning those titles, and then Jade lost and then was gone from the company. That's crazy to think about, that she was TBS champion for that long run, and then she just went to WWE after that.
So before we move to our main event topic, Virtue, so we have the main event of the pay-per-view was a former AEW guy, and both King and Queen of the Ring winners were former AEWs. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, yeah, Cody and Punk were in WWE before AEW, but the fact that AEW squandered having all those people and don't have any of them, and now they're all pushed into the main event scene in WWE, that's because sometimes, it's sports entertainment over wrestling. I know Noah's a big fan of AEW and likes a lot of stuff over there, but I think it was all 3 of them, especially Punk and Cody. Nothing against Jade, but huge losses for AEW. I mean, when you see WWE push people, and you see how it's hard to get that spot when we talk about Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn, LA Knight. Yeah, I mean, there you have it. That's making money, doing business, being professional.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And there concludes our AEW portion of the review. We appreciate it. And no shade thrown to like AEW and those who like it. It's just an objective statement on these people used to be there and now they're being pushed to the top of the card here.
Hey, and I still like MJF and hope he's in WWE one day.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, if he had signed with WWE back when he could have, a year ago or so, I think things could be completely different. But I digress. So we move on to the main event of the evening. Noah had mentioned not thinking Cena's going to lose till December, and that kind of segues into this SummerSlam matchup between Cena and Cody Rhodes is booked. It's official. We have King Cody versus the last real champion, the Never Seen 17, and it's happening at SummerSlam. I think that if we tallied and raised a poll, we would have gotten the majority of people thinking that Cody is going to be the one who's Cena's best opponent to beat him and save the title and save the company, and however you want to talk about that. But they're doing it at SummerSlam. Is this going to be the last match between them? Is it too soon to do this rematch if we're expecting him to take it for Cena? So Cody's going to have 3 of Cena's dates and Punk only gets 1. Roman might not get any. I don't know what to think, guys. So that's why I need your guys' help. I'm going to throw it right over to JJ Williams. Man, help me out. What is it too soon? Is it just the right amount of time? Is it like Goldilocks? Is just right? Like, what's going on with this?
All right, so I feel like SummerSlam was the perfect place to do a rematch because the last time they touched was Mania. This is the biggest party of the summer, one of the big 4. The next one they're stretching out to being a 2-night show.
Good Lord.
Got to have something big for the draw. So it makes perfect sense on that level. I don't think Cena's losing it here, though, because there was the interview that Cody gave a week or so ago where he kind of hinted that a heel turn isn't that far away. Now, I don't think it's going to happen at SummerSlam. I honestly don't think Cody can turn heel until Cena's last match, until he finally dethrones Cena. Some of the best feuds in wrestling have always been trilogies. This is the second chapter. This is The Empire Strikes Back. It's got to end on that down note. Cody won King of the Ring, goes to SummerSlam to vanquish John Cena, and he just can't do it. And then that'll push. But then how do we get Cody back to the title picture come the end of the year? There's no Money in the Bank briefcase. There's no Rumble. There's no King of the Ring tournament. There's no incentive that we can think of to get him to that, next chapter. It almost feels like they should have pushed King of the Ring for later in the year, because the fact that he pinned Cena at Money in the Bank should have been enough to get him the rematch. He pinned the champ. Then we could have saved the King of the Ring aesthetic to be how he gets his third match. Short of bringing back something like the Deadly Game tournament heading into Survivor Series, which, do we really need another fucking tournament? Excuse me, sorry. There's the one. There's the one. It slid out. Apologies, Aaron. Do we really need another tournament? When we've got Rumble qualifiers, Money in the Bank qualifiers, King of the Ring, Owen Hart tournament, eliminator matches, and all this other stuff. Do we really need another tournament? No, but we've got to figure out some way to get Cody back there.
All right. Thank you so much, JJ. You said that we're in the Empire Strikes Back, but, Cena did win the New Hope version. And so that was two bad guys going over. Eventually we got to expect that Cody's going to get his win back if they're going to do this. People are mentioning a double turn. We saw at Night of Champions that Cena is capable of it. If he had just not tried to kick Punk, we would have had Cena turning face again, and everybody all would have been forgiven just because he didn't hit Punk with the title. And I think with Cody's intensity, maybe they could pull the trigger on that. I don't know. I still think it's too early. I don't know what they might be planning with this. If Cody loses again, he loses twice now, and all he did is beat him in a tag match. Where do we go from here? Colin, I'm going to throw it over to you next. Is it too soon? Am I just not lacking the foresight? What's going on, Colin? Help me out.
To me, it's too soon, personally. I remember I read a report online. I don't know if it's completely legit, but they were planning some ruthless aggression pay-per-view at the end of the year for like a last stop for Cena type deal. Don't know if that's just BS or whatnot, but I would like to somehow wait until then, and that's when you pull your double turn. Somehow, Cena and Cody happens at SummerSlam. Cena goes over. Well, somehow over the next, few months, you get little things from Cena that, like he did with Punk, those little like friendly gestures, this, that, and the other. And maybe The Rock starts questioning things, this, that, and the other. And then The Rock comes down during their third match and thinks he's only going to slide your chair to Cena, ends up sliding it to Cody. Cody now sold his soul since Cena's on his way out, and Rock needs another player in his book. I think that would be cool. SummerSlam, though, honestly, I really don't want to see Cody versus Cena. I want to see Cody versus Cena versus Orton versus Roman in a fatal four-way. I think that'd be a killer match. Because so many different things can happen in a fatal four-way. So even if someone gets screwed, they don't get hurt too bad by taking the L. But yeah, SummerSlam, it's just too soon. It's too soon, and We're going to have the same kind of build-up we had going into WrestleMania, and I just don't want to see the rinse and repeat 3 months later. You know what I mean? So, if they could drag it out, it'd be perfect. Like you just said, if you could move King of the Ring to like September, that'd have been perfect. You know what I mean? And then you could have the championship match could happen at Survivor Series. You know, the champion doesn't have to be in a multi-man War Games match. They could actually have a legit WWE Championship match. And the last couple of years, correct me if I'm not, Survivor Series has been like the last pay-per-view of the year too. So that's the way to send it off. Or if I don't really remember the Saturday night main event schedule going towards the end of the year, but that's where you could do it too on live TV, NBC. I don't know, but it's too soon. It just needs to happen later on. Because if Cena loses here, his heel run was really nothing for 3 months. But if Cody loses here, then yeah, that's 2 back-to-back L's to Cena, besides the tag match that don't mean anything. So I don't know. It's going to be a fun summer. That's all I can say. So.
Absolutely. That we are definitely in for a fun summer, and for no other reason than Solo Sikoa's United States title reign. I think it's going to bring us a lot of entertainment in the next couple of months. Uthman in the chat makes a great point. SummerSlam is 2 nights. I still keep forgetting that, and they really do need to throw what the best that they've got at that to sell tickets for 2 nights. And if you have too many multi-man matches, I know we did it at WrestleMania, but like you missed the opportunity for those singles matches to fill out both cards. And don't mention The Rock. I almost forgot he was a wrestling personality in general. I'm happy with him, thinking like he's an actor. I'm just giving you a hard time, Colin, but it's definitely I think the further away from wrestling he is, the happier we are all being, because we're still upset about that build to WrestleMania and us not getting him versus Roman.
I'm at the stage now where I would rather see an eventual Roman versus Jacob Fatu for the tribal chief on Roman's way out, passing the Ulafala to Jacob, who will stay as a full-timer as Roman goes to Hollywood. I'm building myself up to that as a bigger moment than ever wanting to see Rock and Roman, because of all the tease that's never happened.
Yeah. It's no longer like the biggest match of all time. I mean, I'm sure it could be billed as that if they booked it right, but it's just not working out very well. So with that said, I'm going to actually throw it over to you, Virtue. Is this match happening too soon? If Cody's going to be his final opponent, like, why not just save it for that? We're getting guys like Punk and Orton only getting 1 shot at Cena, but Cody gets multiple chances. Like, what's going on?
Well, so it's SummerSlam, and a lot of times they repeat main events from WrestleMania at SummerSlam, but it's 2 nights, so I'm not surprised it's happening. But we got to let's talk about Cena first. So the heel run. If he loses here to Cody, what's he going to do the rest of the time? Be that baby face? That's going to kind of be stale. He's going to be a heel that tries to re-chase. I think Cena needs to stay heel till the bitter end, because he can, when he's retired from wrestling, he can retire as this heel. Now, I'm not saying take the title. That's what we got to talk about. Is he going to, how's he going to drop it? But I think he should be this heel all the way till his last match. And afterwards, when he comes back for a WrestleMania appearance to say hi and stuff like that, that's when he can be babyface John Cena again. So first of all, if he turns babyface to finish the run, that's stupid. He should be heel. The more people are saying they don't like it and he's ruining wrestling, stick with it and double down. So that's the first thing. If I expect him to retain, but the question is, where does he drop the title? I don't think he's taking it with him. I think he will drop the title, but what's left? Survivor Series? It's not going to happen on a Raw or SmackDown. That's just crazy. Or SNME. What pay-per-views are left that are big? Survivor. So that's what the question is. If Cody doesn't beat him here, where does Cena drop it? And if Cody beats him here, it just kind of ruins everything. Everybody looks silly. It looks like the Cena heel thing was a failure. I mean, they have to have some pretty big swerve to distract people. If like Cody, like a double turn, which you gotta, I don't even know. That's kind of risky.
Yeah.
But who does he drop it to? I mean, it still could be Cody in a third attempt. I think CM Punk finally finding a way to get another match to be the last straw, and Punk beats him. And that's when Seth Rollins cashes in. After Punk wins the title, Rollins cashes in and wins it right back from him, right at the end of Cena's reign. That to me is the money, but I really think Cena should retain, stay heel, and then we can talk about what will happen later. If Cody wins it, it's just, to me, it's just going to flatten everything. And then people can say, oh, that was a shitty heel run by John Cena. But you got to stay the course. Would I like to see The Rock get involved? Yes. I mean, at this point, just to piss fans off, bring Travis Scott back at SummerSlam again and have him and Cena. But I want more. I don't just want him and Travis Scott. I want Travis Scott to be like a decoy for something better to happen, for Cena to have a different way to win the match. But just because he pisses so many people off, I'm like, all right, bring him back again. I'd rather have Ron Killings in that role. But we'll see. But it's the right time. SummerSlam for the rematch, 2 nights. The WWE is just known for doing stuff like that, carrying over a WrestleMania main event. But I don't know, Cody, I just can't fathom him winning it and ending this run already. Just crazy.
Thank you very much, Virtue. And yes, R-Truth Ron Killings did not appear on Night of Champions, thus Aaron does not have to acknowledge you.
But was he not over there in Saudi Arabia?
He was.
People
when I saw him on SmackDown, I was like, Virtue's right.
You said he wasn't even going to go over there to do a 2-minute run-in. He was still over there to do an angle.
He did. Just to get the backstage segment with Aleister Black and a little bit of TV time. But that made me think that it was possible that he was going to do that. I'm sure it had Aaron sweating a little bit too, since he saw it early. But anyway.
Yeah, they cater to the fans and make them happy. Hey, we brought him back. They're not going to do anything with him. That's typical WWE. They have their fixed group of people they want to push. And once in a while, someone like Kevin Owens or somebody will slip through the cracks. But then it's usually short term or it's nothing long lasting. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Colin has had his hand up. I'm going to throw it to Colin, and then we'll go to Noah and Aaron for their thoughts.
So real quick, when's the last time we've seen a gauntlet, like for an opportunity especially for like a singles championship? I remember New Day trying to help Kofi years ago, running the gauntlet, this, that, and the other. What if Cody loses at SummerSlam and it's just still on this, I need to be champion, here comes Rock. And Rock and Cena set up some type of ridiculous gauntlet for Cody to go through. He wins the gauntlet, he gets the title opportunity, and then, the Avengers can assemble and everybody, makes it happen. But that's how Cody gets into his final match with Cena if he's going to take it near the end of the year. It's just something that we haven't seen in a while. Like, I remember the last time I remember like anything gauntlet-wise was from AEW, and it was Jericho and MJF's feud. Like, it was like the five matches, and that's when we saw the pizza cutter across the head with the greatest Domino's commercial of all time.
That's
and
the food.
All that stuff. But it was just something that popped into my head when you guys were talking. I'm like, this is a way that they could do that. If they could somehow figure out how to get a gauntlet set up, if it comes to that. We're just throwing it out there, but I just wanted to say that before I forgot about it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Colin. All right. Well, throwing it over to JJ. Noah's been very patient. JJ, I'm sure you got to add to what Colin had just said before we throw it to Noah.
I just want to piggyback on the gauntlet thing. I'm not sure when the last time was we saw one in WWE, but we literally have 2 casino gauntlet matches lined up for All In. So we've got 2 gauntlet matches on the same pay-per-view, so WWE would definitely have to wait until October at the earliest to try to give some time before doing something like that.
Absolutely. And I wonder if the people who are complaining about WWE's King of the Ring qualifiers and multi-man matches on the same show are going to complain about there being 2 gauntlet matches on that card. But I digress. Noah,
Gino, they're the same people that complain about certain features in the new Mario Kart game too. That's the same type of breed of people. Complain
and then the same people that want to review bomb Superman before it even comes out. It's just
got to be their way.
Absolutely. It's as simple as this. It's Noah's turn. Noah, what are your thoughts? I think the guys have helped me feel like I'm not crazy, But I mean, what am I missing? Like, why do this here? Is it just because it's something that they're supposed to do, a rematch from WrestleMania, or is it like, is there something we're not seeing?
It's a rematch from WrestleMania. It's truly as simple as that. You guys hit the nail on the head. I've been saying it verbatim in and out of this freaking panel. You kidding me? It's as typical as Control-C, Control-V, aha. You run it at WrestleMania, you run it at SummerSlam. The only difference is you're trying to make SummerSlam feel as big, if not bigger, than WrestleMania because of the first ever two-night one. And Cardi B, no one cares about that, all right? Let's move on from the piss-poor pop culture aspect of this show, okay? That being said, as far as Cody versus Cena, there's no other way you really could take this right now based on what happened in the King of the Ring tournament. My only hope is after Cody loses, he goes on a hiatus, he comes back as heel, dyes his hair black, and goes after maybe his best friend. You're thinking about people that could face Cena in the meantime. I think about Jey Uso, a person that John Cena confronted when he was world heavyweight champion. Now Jey has no town nor any way to world championship picture. Let's not forget that Jey Uso lost to Cody Rhodes in the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament. He might be the last real babyface you have left in WWE at this point, outside cleaner CM Punk. Whether or not they run CM Punk back one more time is a whole different convention. LA Knight would be cool from a promo game, but right now he's feuding with Seth Rollins' vision. So as long as he's stuck in the Seth Rollins vortex, you ain't going to get that. So outside Jey Uso, I honestly can't think of anybody else. I said earlier, I'm just bringing it back. John Cena going all the way to the final date. If this show is in its hometown called Ruthless Aggression, where Kurt Angle passed the torch to him, I think it'd be fitting for John Cena to pass the torch to somebody that could lead the next generation. So if they don't do Roman Reigns for Jacob Fatu, which would be freaking awesome, I would like Jacob Fatu to face John Cena because I remember that subtle face-to-face they had at the Royal Rumble. Or I would see Bron Breakker maybe take it if he's not part of Seth Rollins' vision because at this point, WWE is living off nostalgia, but you have to figure out the next generation, and they don't have that right now. Seth Rollins might be a 24/7, 365 worker trying to be the next big heel in WWE Money in the Bank once again, but it looks like they're just going to continue running with Seth versus Punk. So if they're going to close the bubble on Cena versus Cody, this is the perfect time to do it. It's just a matter of what you do afterwards. And as far as I know, outside Survivor Series War Games now in San Diego, I don't know what they're doing in between that time. So I'm very curious. Is it going to involve Ron Killings? Is it going to involve Roman Reigns? Is it going to involve LA Knight as just a stepping stone to segue from Seth friggin' Rollins? Are we going to get some weird, bizarre swerve like Miz or Carmelo Hayes? Because I honestly can't think of anybody else at this point that you put against John Cena who has that history and can continue giving us a story. Because as far as I'm concerned, John Cena is not losing that title to Ruthless Aggression. And I hope it's somebody that will lead the next generation of WWE as the babyface. Should it be Jey Uso? And the jury's out.
El Grande Americano.
Don't start with me.
El Grande Kaiser Americano.
Yeah, Grande
Anyway.
Kaiser, lest you forget. Anyway,
That's
Hey, I
impeccable.
said it wasn't Chad Gable.
it was, now it's Ludwig. Don't start with me. This isn't your show. Gino, host.
Can't prove it.
Oh, man. All right. Well, you've given us a lot to think about. We still got Aaron coming up. I just wanted to say, like, if Cena does hold it all the way to the end, I think he's going to do some type of open challenge like he did with the U.S. title last night. Who's got it in them to stop me from taking it? And maybe LA Knight's music hits. Maybe Joe Hendry's music hits. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting my hopes up. Who knows? But we'll talk about that on a future episode of the NoDQ review. You can bet your bottom dollar. Aaron, what are your thoughts? Is this too soon? Is it going to lead to a trilogy? Is it fair that Cody gets multiple matches against Cena, but we can't get guys that we want to see having more than one match or even a match with him? What's going on?
Okay, well, let me get to these super chats,
Sure.
and then I'll answer that question for you. Psycho Jet Black is doing his super chat bombing here at the end. And by the way, Jeff wants on next week, whoever's moderating. Virtue, you moderating next week?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeff wants in, and Oofman, if you want to have him on, we'll see what happens with that. First of all, Psycho Jet Black said the blue Koopa shell is more over than Austin Theory. I don't like the blue Koopa shell, so I'm going to say Austin Theory is more over to me than the blue Koopa shell.
No, I agree
First
with
place
this.
shell can be missed by that. I do
You
not
gotta
like
get
the
that
first
blue
place
shell, that 2-second
But
delay pass.
let's look at the blue Koopa shell real quick. Does sometimes, though, it help you when it knocks out the guy in front of you? Sometimes it helps you.
There's never anybody in front of me, so it's only ever used against me
But
in
you
Mario
gotta-
Kart 8.
you're
Yeah,
not
I'm
racing
in
back.
first
Look at
so
your mini
much,
map.
I only
You
get
need to
hit
race
with
in
it.
second or third till the final stretch.
I've
Exactly.
gotten a blue shell like once or twice in my whole lifetime, I feel like. Anyways,
That can't be right.
Well, at least in Mario Kart World, I think I got it one time playing the races. I got a blue shell like in 7th place.
But they usually have to be farther back. That means you're pretty good at the tracks, and you're always up near the front. That's probably why you don't get it that much. I don't get it much.
Yeah, I rarely get the blue shell. I'm always getting hit with it, though. I'll tell you that.
Same. Same.
Yeah, sometimes multiple times in one race.
You're too good, Aaron.
That's right.
He's got the right.
I don't have 3 stars on all the 150 courses, though, so got to work on that.
How would you play something less than 150? Anyway, moving on.
To get used to the court tracks, to learn them.
Exactly. Psycho Jet Black sent to the $2 super chat. Says Cardi B is more over than Austin Theory. I'm not saying
agree.
that.
She's a multiple-time Grammy platinum recording artist. I mean, like, people love her. I certainly don't love her, but you know, people do.
She's got a bigger scope than wrestling, so yeah, that's accurate.
To me, Austin Theory is more over, but to the rest of the world, probably Cardi B.
Yeah, and let me just ask real quick on this super chat. Does WWE really think that having Cardi B in any capacity is going to either increase viewership or increase ticket sale buy rates? Like, I don't get it.
Maybe they could afford Beyonce.
Even then, like, who's going to WWE? They're not going to just go. You want to see her doing her stuff, not being involved with WWE. So she better get physical with somebody or something, like, or otherwise, what's even the point? Like, have Alexa Bliss host it or something. She did great. Anyway,
okay.
What do we got next?
Well, so I wanted to go off of that because somebody had asked about the ticket sales for SummerSlam, and that ties into my answer to this topic. Right now, they're at about, I believe, 38 to 39,000 per show, which is about what they've been doing for the non-WrestleMania stadium shows. The Royal Rumble, I think, started at around 40,000, and they ended up with about 70,000. It's a pretty solid number for 2 nights. Now, that building, I believe, holds like 80,000. So without a stage, I mean, it's going to be really tough to fill up that place. Again, will they feel like they need The Rock? I'm very intrigued about the timing of this match because, as Virtue mentioned, I think John Cena should be the heel champion until the end, until Survivor Series or maybe even his last night. But I could see him maybe turning face for the final show at Saturday night's main event in Boston in December. But I figured when he turned heel, he would be heel until Survivor Series, and that's when he would drop the title. It does seem a little bit early for him to drop the title, and I don't think he should go back to being a babyface right now. I think there's still a couple of big matches. Remember, you got Clash in Paris, you got that show in Australia, and then you got Survivor Series, and I think you can get 3 more heel John Cena premium live events after SummerSlam. What about Roman Reigns versus John Cena? What about Roman Reigns versus LA Knight? I feel like we got to do those matches before the Cena run comes to an end. You could do a double turn, and going back to the ticket sales, if they feel they got to fill up both stadiums for both nights, what if Cody does turn heel and sells his soul to The Rock? I do want to read off a comment. So Cody Rhodes was on Busted Open Radio, and he told fans that his goal is to make the people that felt a certain way about WrestleMania, he's going to put it all on his back and take all the credit and responsibility, and he's going to help them get to the finish line with SummerSlam. So that really sounds to me like he's going to win the title back. But again, I don't want to see John Cena go back to being a heel. If Cody wins and Cena stays a heel, I suppose you could do a rematch with them. Again, a third match, a rubber match. But I feel like Cody's going to win the title. And I don't know if that's the right move. It's very interesting because I was expecting Cody versus John Cena. Cody obviously deserves the rematch for multiple reasons. I mean, you could argue he should have gotten the rematch in the first place, which was the old way that it was done. And recently they haven't done it as much. And then the other thing is he pinned John Cena in that tag match, and then he won King of the Ring. So, I mean, he definitely in storyline deserves that rematch. So yeah, I feel like it was inevitable that it was going to happen. How do you book it though for SummerSlam and make people satisfied? I don't know if you're going to get a double turn or if Cody wins despite all the interference. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I can't really see John Cena beating Cody again. So yeah, it's very intriguing. I will say that. I have no idea what's going to happen with it or how they're going to book it and make it interesting for the rest of Cena's run.
Maybe he beats Cody cleanly because you had the Travis Scott interference at WrestleMania. So maybe that's what puts Cody over the edge, where he takes hiatus, rethinks about himself, and maybe he goes heel that way. Because so far, John Cena has not won a match clean with the championship on the line since winning it.
I wouldn't mind seeing a clean win from John Cena. And speaking of clean wins, Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. He says, do you want John Cena's final match to end cleanly, or do you want it to be overbooked like the Attitude Era WWF? I don't want it like every match he's done. I think he needs a couple of clean matches, whether he's a heel or a face, before this run comes to an end. Would you guys all agree on that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I honestly thought we would have kind of gotten something like that in the Punk match. I don't know that they needed all of that interference at Night of Champions. I mean, you could have had Cena try and hit him with the belt, do that whole thing. But like, I guess they needed that to make it seem like Punk was distracted and not look weak in a loss. It's just very difficult, very confusing, but we're enjoying the ride they're taking us on, brother, or at least trying to the best of our ability for sure. Yes, JJ.
Well, let's not forget that Seth said that it was his mission statement that as long as he's breathing, CM Punk won't win the title. So that's why he was out there, is like, if Punk had somehow managed to get the dub, he still had the briefcase to screw him.
At the end of the day, Seth screwed Punk again.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the people that, this would be about as good of a way or an easy of a way to get a double turn done for somebody we want to see a baby face again and somebody we want to see be a heel. Cody's been super intense lately, like very almost heelish intensity in his match with Jay and his match with Randy. He was wrestling like a heel on that show, like he was, until Randy took the turnbuckle pad off and started up his old tricks. But Cody was wrestling like a bad guy. And then the crowd was teased about Cena having second thoughts about cheating to win, whether it's unclean or unfair.
Backlash.
I think that, that's a callback to one of an earlier review. I think that you could pull the trigger with it and it could work. You just have Cena attempt to do it and actually get his better judgment. I don't want to do it. And then Cody maybe kicks him in the nut. I don't know. I feel like this would be a good opportunity, but I do agree with all you guys. Cena should probably be staying a heel until the end of the run, maybe turn at the very end, or just right off into the sunset, a heel as his character, and then just people are still going to watch his movies and his TV shows. So I know at least I am. But does anybody have any final thoughts before we go around and do our plugs? Or I know we got a few more super chats in there. Oh, goodness. Yes, we do. Maybe we should get to the super chats.
All right. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2. He says, if he was still in WWE, I think he's talking about Vince, it would be John Cena versus Baron Corbin. Well, I guess, if Corbin was in WWE, but Vince would also have to be there as well.
No, Brock Lesnar would be back in the main event. If
That.
Mm-hmm. How about that if Brock Lesnar came back for Cena's last match?
I was thinking that. I just don't see that happening.
That would be dope, but I'm not going to hear any ill words about the new MLW Tag Team Champions, Baron Corbin and Donovan Dijak, okay?
That is a pretty awesome tag.
Wait, what's Baron
Skyscrapers.
What's Baron Corbin's wrestling name now?
The Nomad, Bishop Dyer.
Oh my God, that's a terrible name.
I hate it.
Well, I mean, they're using the Skyscrapers. How old is the Skyscrapers name?
What's his shoot name? His real name?
Tom Pestock, something like that.
That's even better. But no.
But hey, him and Dijak are the MLW Tag Champs. I'm happy for them.
Same.
Good for them.
I'd actually been a champion in WWE, but that's a different conversation. Continue.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, well done, me float is more over than Austin Theory.
For a moment, I played some other musician versus an actual dish.
All right, here's an interesting one. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says Scrubby Allen is more over than Austin Theory. I actually agree with this. At this
He
point,
climbed Mount Everest
yeah, he
And then,
climbed
yeah,
Mount
he-
Everest.
and came
definitely
back.
higher.
No one
Austin-
ever talks about. Everyone talks about climbing it, getting to the top. What about coming back down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big deal too.
It's probably
Yeah.
harder.
I would agree.
Austin Theory climbs the catering table. Austin Theory does that while Scrubby Allen is actually climbing and coming down from a mountain. Like, give
Well,
the
one
guy
needs
some
safety
credit.
harness, the other one needs a step ladder. So there you go.
There you go. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says Song of the South is more over than Austin Theory. I don't even know what that is.
I
Enlighten
think
me.
it was a USA show about cartels.
Song of the South is the banned Disney movie.
Yeah, that
The
had
one
to
that
do with
Zippity
the
Doodah comes from.
Splash Mountain retheming and all that, right?
Hmm
Oh, it's yeah.
It's so
Yeah, I know what you're talking
controversial
about.
that it never got a proper release.
Oh,
It's not in good taste, as they say.
I
I'll take
see.
your word for it.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, to quote Squidward, it's unfair, not fun fair.
There's something that
There's
should
been
have
like 1,000 episodes of SpongeBob, and I stopped watching when I was like 13, so I don't remember that one.
Who lives in a coffin under the ground? Seriously.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Well, he should. Anyway.
That's all I know. I know the song. I don't think I ever actually watched a full episode of that show.
You're a
Full
I
smart
know
man.
I didn't.
Oh, geez. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I see that one too.
Mr. Tito sent in a $2 super chat. Says Chris Benoit is more over than Austin Theory. All right. Good night,
Well,
folks.
He was a world heavyweight champion.
He was something.
But did
Austin
Benoit
Theory
beat
hasn't done.
Cena at WrestleMania? He did not.
No,
not
but
do
Theory did
Wait,
Theory did.
Benoit never beat Cena,
at Mania.
Not at
At Mania,
WrestleMania, no.
but he beat
That
him
was-
though.
But the key to what Gino said was at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Austin
And I will
Theory
say-
has a pinfall victory over John Cena at WrestleMania, as
a
does the
mid-card
Miz.
title.
And
As
I will
does
say
The
this:
Miz.
the ruthless aggression. They used to call Benoit toothless aggression, and I only ever think of that when I hear the term ruthless aggression. I almost don't even think about John Cena and what he brought in that whole era. Like, think toothless aggression, which was a great nickname, by the way, for him. But yeah, I think we can move on from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
Um,
good call.
Ian sent in a $5 super chat. Says John Cena versus Cody Rhodes I Quit match
Ooh.
at SummerSlam. I mean, that would be an interesting step. But I argued, and I mentioned this before, that maybe Cena's last match could be I Quit, and then he loses the I Quit match. He finally quits, and that's his last match. And he's
And that
done.
never gave up and has never
Mhm.
lost an I Quit match, gives up in its final match of the very stipulation. That is kind of an
Mhm.
interesting
I
way.
think that would be poetic.
Poetic.
So if they,
Yeah.
if they're
They do it at
going to do an
SummerSlam.
I Quit match with John Cena, it should be his actual final match.
Absolutely, because if they do it at SummerSlam, Cody's going to say "I quit," and he's going to drop down the card faster than anybody, really.
Yeah.
Because
And
you don't
really, if you
have your
book
biggest
that
babyface
match,
quit.
you know Cody's not going to quit. And
No.
yeah, John Cena could quit, but yeah, it would be more interesting if it was his last match where he actually quit.
his body will quit before his vocal cords.
It'll
says
be
he
like
does.
The Rock in Mankind, where he it's like an audio clip of him saying like "I'll never say I quit," and it's like "Oh, yeah, he said
I
it."
quit. And
Yeah.
Shane, of course, recorded it.
They could bring back that. They haven't done that routine in a while.
Well, they did it with the last one he was in with the Miz. I mean, so
All right, back to Psycho Jet Black here, who sent in a $5 super chat. Psycho says, I bought a ticket to a WWE show so I can see Austin Theory. Said no one ever. Also, your prediction for War Games this year: Team Rollins versus Team Punk.
sounds about
Don't
right
do
to
war
me.
games. Just call it Survivor Series and
For
feature
the love of God,
John
yes.
Cena.
I thought they dropped the War Games thing, and then they show me. Dang it!
No, it's back.
They only heard three
confirmed it.
people during the match, but by all means, let's do it again with all of our top stars.
Let's see: Seth, Braun, Reed, Punk, Sammy, Penta. There's your 3-on-3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably going to be Rollins' group versus CM Punk, and maybe Roman Reigns have a combined super group to go against the Rollins team. But that would mean I think Rollins needs some more guys in his group.
Yeah, you have to. It's usually 5-on-5. Right now, we got 3-on-3. You're booking a 4-on-3 right now, so the numbers don't add up.
Yeah, the numbers don't add up, as Scott Steiner might say.
There's
I mean, they had
also
4-on-4
people
last
thinking
year, and then they added 2 randomly just for no reason when it could have just been 4-on-4. But yeah,
Exactly.
JJ.
there's also people thinking it'll be another Bloodline versus Bloodline with Solo,
No.
Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Tala Tonga versus Roman, Jimmy, Jay, and Jacob.
Nah.
No. I
There's
don't
no
want
point.
another Bloodline match.
I
please.
know, but I'm just saying it's something people are talking about as a possibility.
Well, hopefully not. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says that the new guy, Tala Tonga, is more over than Austin Theory.
He's got the height.
Yeah, he's
Are
taller,
they really
but
calling him that?
That's
Because they
his
were alluded, they were like skirting around his name all day on
yeah,
Saturday.
that's his name, Tala Tonga.
Yes, that's his actual name. Of course, those that watch the Japan Pro Wrestling knew him as Hikuleo.
Yeah.
Right, but like we've got Tama Tonga and Tongaloa are already too confusing as it is, and then they're called
Yep.
the Tongans even though they're spelled different. Now we
Yep.
got Tala Tonga because he's tall. Like what?
Yep.
Like what?
Here's what
That's
I
the
want.
family.
Here's
That's
what
the
I
family.
really want to know. I want to know how many dollars Aaron has made tonight on Super Chats that had Austin Theory's name in it.
Yep. Because it goes to show that he's more over than he's getting credit for.
The
Oh,
NoDQ
no.
review is putting over Austin Theory as we speak, and I believe we've got
no.
a few more, and then we can wrap it up.
I like
and
Austin
get back to
Theory.
Mario Kart.
And
You
it's
always
not
have.
just Psycho Jet Black too. Mr. Tito sent in a $2 super chat. Joey Ryan is more over than Austin Theory.
I like Austin Theory. This hate for him is totally, you're entitled to your opinion, but I like Austin Theory, and I wish he had a better shake at things with this booking.
Well, maybe it wasn't
Same.
stuck in a pointless tag team with Grayson Waller, where tag team wrestling's still irrelevant. Maybe he would be somebody.
All right, show of hands. Who was a Joey Ryan fan before all that controversy came out?
Can't even remember him.
All right, well, JJ was.
It was very weird and underground and smut like gimmick. Just I wasn't a fan of it. And you had guys like Mick Foley participating in it and stuff.
Ugh.
Just very PWG-ish, like
Yeah.
weird, crazy stuff that's just not. It just really breaks the fourth wall of wrestling. I don't know, just weird.
In my defense, I had kind of fallen out of wrestling completely by the time he started doing the stuff with his genitalia. So I just remember kind of like the Magnum Joey Ryan, the beginnings of Who Wants a Mustache Ride and all that stuff.
Yeah. I gotta say, I did see the flip in person at an indie show, and it was entertaining, but it's entertaining in the confines of a small building, independent wrestling show.
Right.
It's not made for national television,
Just like the Young Bucks and their whole gimmick.
Oh, just like most of AEW.
I mean, and I've know of the stuff that has come out about him, but I have also know that no official charges have been filed against him. So I feel like he kind of just deserves to get on with his life. If nothing is going to happen about it, just let the man move on.
I mean, it sucks for him that he got a job at Disneyland and then somebody spotted him there and he ended up getting fired.
And it's like I get when you're actually you're on the record for being a sex offender and stuff. You can't live near a school. There's certain things you can't do. I'm totally on board with that. Like, you can be accused of a lot of things, but like, he clearly was just trying to make money. And, if he was I'm pretty sure Disney would have been on it if he was there creeping on girls and stuff. But I nobody gets second chances or nobody can get corrected, Aaron. I guess once you do something bad, that's the type of person you are, and I'm not getting into religion or anything. It's just it's crazy sometimes, though, and some people truly are bad people. Like that. That's a fact, right? Some people, but some people can
and also
can be better, and it just.
I think if you're the type of person that is religious and you are about forgiving, then you should forgive people instead of constly trying to cancel them and say they should burn in hell and all this stuff.
Enzo, Velveteen Dream. I mean, a lot of people, and we don't know all the. Who's another guy? Who's the Marty Skrull? A lot of, and think about it. it's ruined all their careers in terms for wrestling. They're now typecast as creepy guys, and maybe some
For
are.
what it's worth
but
about
maybe
the
some
Enzo
aren't.
situation, I
Maybe
think it was
some
because
were
he did
mistakes.
perform WWE.
Maybe they didn't do it at all, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm
All
a
right, moving
firm,
on.
I'm a
Two more
firm
left.
believer in people deserve a second chance and people deserve forgiveness. For whatever it's worth, he posted a 5-year sobriety chip yesterday. Not sure what he's been getting treatment for, but 5 years sobriety, sober. That steps in the right direction.
Wait,
That's
who?
Joey.
Oh, so you're still in his fan club? Cool. No,
I follow him
that's all right.
because,
Well,
but
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, but the gimmick was pretty stupid. It was entertaining in an independent show going there.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Look at Mr. Tito making Joey Ryan a topic of discussion tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tito.
The NoDQ PSA.
Okay, Psycho Jet Black says Jenna Maraska is more over than Austin Theory. Wow, there's from TNA, I think she was in TNA.
She was originally on the reality show Survivor, but then transitioned to TNA.
Yeah. And I think she had like one of the worst matches or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she did exactly, but
it was one of the worst matches in history. I forget who she wrestled.
Damn, Psycho. That's a shot fired. Nobody send this video to Austin Theory. All right, what do we got next?
I disagree with that one too. I mean,
Same. Austin Theory all the way.
has gone down, but that's not all his fault. They failed to capitalize on the split with Waller. Like they had some momentum with that, and then they just didn't go with it. Like Austin Theory as a babyface could probably work if they had told that story correctly and let it play out, and they just dropped it for whatever reason.
Well, they brought up enough tag teams as it is. Moving on.
All right, we got one more here from Mr. Tito. Says, my dreams of Naomi to join the Bloodline is more over than Austin Theory.
That I'll agree with.
Well, at least she's a heel now. I will say that they finally turned her, and it's better than nothing.
Facts.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen her in the Bloodline now, but at least they're doing something with her as a heel. They got rid of the glow and everything, so I'm happy about that. And yes, she's definitely more over than Austin Theory right now. Probably more over than he's ever been, quite frankly. All right, I think we're caught up here, Gino.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of NoDQ review 342. Oh. We're going to throw it around and do our plugs. Noah, where can the people find you?
Find me if you choose in Foster 1916 on the social medias, primarily the X and on YouTube. We only wish to encourage you to judge your life and enjoy wrestling too. It's truly as simple as that. And stay tuned, of course, for all the Prediction League updates from Night of Champions and the other shows and leagues to come. Always a pleasure. I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you very much, Noah. And JJ, where can the people find you?
You can find me on social media. I'm on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams. I'm on X at ROWJJ Williams and Casa D18 Studio. Those are the channels that are part of the Simply Reliable Studios. If you haven't already, please go and subscribe to Walter at Rage of Wrestling on YouTube. He is only 45 away from his goal of 200. If he gets to 200, his wife is sending him to Vegas for Mania. Not sure if it's going to be him plus one or him plus two. There are negotiations going on because originally it was supposed to be him plus one for a month. And I believe it's being discussed that it'd be him plus two for 2 weeks instead. That way we can get Noah and our buddy James to Vegas with him. And then Vegas being close enough, I can just Greyhound it up there. Or if I have a car again by then, drive up there myself. So.
That was almost some
Rage of Wrestling.
That was almost some Steiner math. I was trying to keep up with that.
Well done. And yes, Walter's doing well. Go ahead and support him. We thank you, JJ, for shouting out the reliable one. Now, Colin, one of our rotating moderators. Welcome back into the rotation. We're happy to have you back. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on YouTube at the Cleaver NoDQ. Make sure to support the Big Vito brand as always. The Don. Try to get Vito back on one of these days. That'd be fun. But thanks for having me. Good chat as always. And let me know if you want me back next week. I'm available. So hit me up.
All right. Thank you so much, Colin. And now we've got Virtue, where can the people find you?
X.com at NoDQ_virtue. I will be back moderating next week. And of course, go to NoDQ.com/merch and check out all the NoDQ merch and the Virtue stuff over there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Aaron, we got a few super chats. None of them are questions. Maybe you could just read them off one by one, rapid fire, and we'll do our plugs and get out of here.
All right. Yes. You get that merchandise in 4 to 6 weeks over at the NoDQ merch store. All right. Let's get to these last super chats here. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2 and said, Pirate Paul Burchill more over than Austin Theory. I actually liked that gimmick. You didn't like it, JJ?
I liked the gimmick, but I disagree with the sentiment.
Didn't he swing?
I'm kind of half joking.
Rope?
Yep.
But it was entertaining. I think they could have gotten more mileage out of that pirate gimmick. I will say that. I strongly disagree with this one. Psycho Jet Black says the Brie Bella theme is more over than Austin Theory.
Rematch. No.
Please, no. Don't do that, Noah. Never do that again. No.
No. We got when Noah gets to singing, we got to get a $25 super chat to get Noah to sing. That's the gimmick.
Make him sing the whole song.
Yep, and he'll do it too.
Oh, geez. You might just tempt Psycho Jet Black into doing it.
He doesn't have my PayPal. Don't worry, you're safe tonight.
Mr. Tito sent it a $2 super chat. Says Jackie Gata is more over than Austin Theory.
Who?
Jeez. She had one of the worst matches in Raw history.
Oh. See, I don't remember the worst match.
She's married to Charlie Haas now.
No, they
Was that
divorced, didn't they?
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah.
Was that the chick from Tough Enough?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I believe they divorced. I think they did, but I
wonder if that was still irrelevant. Moving on.
Somebody should look that up. But yeah, she had a match in 2002 that was legit one of the worst TV matches of all time. Oh my God. Here we go.
Oh my God.
COVID-19 is more over than Austin Theory.
No comment.
Well, it is worldwide, so know.
Yeah, it spread like wildfire.
Yeah, something that
all
Austin
right.
Theory
Thank you,
hasn't
Mr.
been able
Tito,
to do.
for making us think about a dark time in all of our lives. So we appreciate you.
Hey, how we survive and get back to the light. Moving on.
All right, yeah. What an interesting one. Okay, well maybe if Noah's back, Psycho Jet Black can save the $25 and send it in one fell swoop. Oh no, he's like 25 for Brie mode right now.
Uh-oh.
Cut the stream. But he might send it as we go off the air, and then that wouldn't be right.
Psycho Jet Black likes to spread his money out.
No.
Psycho, save it for the next time Noah's on, and maybe we'll get him to sing a song.
Catch spot. I'm available next week.
All right, there we go.
I'll take a break for next week too to allow other people to be on. So hopefully Noah gets that $25 sing song.
Okay. So yeah, I said everything that I needed to say. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest. Thank you all for your support, and go over to the Instagram account, Instagram.com/NoDQ_DOTCOM. And Marshall's available next week, Virtue, in case you got an open spot.
Yeah, trust me, I have hundreds of people that are in line that I only let a few through because, I'm very picky. So you're on the list, Marshall, but no guarantees.
All right, there you have it. So thank you guys for watching. Gino, I'll let you close us out for this week.
All right. And thank you so much to JJ, Cleaver, Noah, our ORM, Aaron, and our NoDQ Galaxy, whether you're watching live or on demand. If you're looking about where you can find me, you just go over to YouTube, type Papagino0017. I'm only 5 subscribers away from 680. We're doing big things over there. I got my wrestling show coming out Wednesdays at 8. But more importantly, you guys were here supporting this channel, which we love and appreciate you all. So from all of us here at the NoDQ family, thank you very much. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Mario Kart World time.
Mario Kart World time. Let's go.
El Grande Americano is not Chad Gable.
He is. Cut the feed.